Hello and welcome back to our channel, your go-to source for the latest on UK visas, indefinite leave to remain and immigration. In the past couple of weeks, the landscape of UK immigration has been rocked by a series of dramatic announcements and heated debates. From the Reform UK Party's radical proposal to scrap indefinite leave to remain entirely, to the Labour government's own significant planned overhaul of the settlement system, the path to permanent residency in the UK is facing its most significant potential changes in a generation. Today, we're going to break down exactly what's happening. We'll look at what Nigel Farage and the Reform Party are proposing, how the current UK government has reacted, and what the Labour Party's own new rules for immigration could mean for you. We'll also touch on the ongoing discussions in Parliament and what the future might hold for those on the path to making the UK their permanent home. So, grab a cup of tea and let's get into it. First, let's talk about the announcement that ignited this firestorm. On September the 22nd, 2025, Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform UK, unveiled the seismic shift in his party's immigration policy. He declared that if his party wins the next general election, they will abolish indefinite leave to remain, also known as ILR or settlement. For those who may not be familiar, ILR is a crucial status for many immigrants in the UK. It grants the right to live, work, and study here for as long as you like, and to apply for benefits if eligible. After holding ILR for a year, individuals can often then apply for British citizenship. It's the cornerstone of permanent settlement for many who have built their lives in this country. Reform UK's plan is to replace ILR with a system of 5-year renewable visas. This would mean that even those who currently hold ILR would lose that status and have to reapply for a visa to stay in the UK every 5 years. These new visas would come with stringent new criteria, including a much higher salary threshold and a better standard of English. Furthermore, under these proposals, only British nationals would have recourse to public funds, meaning those on these 5-year visas would not be able to claim benefits. Nigel Farage has argued that these measures are necessary to control what he calls a Boris wave of immigration, referring to the influx of legal migrants under rules introduced during Boris Johnson. Premiership. Reform UK claims that their plan would save the UK a staggering £234 billion over several decades, a figure that has been hotly disputed in the media. It's important to note that these are, for now, just proposals. They would only come into effect if Reform UK were to win a general election and form a government, with some reports suggesting an implementation date around 2030. It has also been clarified that EU nationals with pre-settled or settled status under the EU settlement scheme would not be affected by the abolition of ILR, as this would breach the EU-UK Brexit treaty. The reaction from the current Labour government was swift and strong. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, speaking on the first day of the Labour Party conference, unequivocally condemned Reform UK's proposals. He branded the plans to make legal migrants reapply for visas as both racist and immoral. In a passionate interview, the Prime Minister stated, "It is one thing to say we're going to remove illegal migrants, people who have no right to be here. I'm up for that. It is a completely different thing to say we are going to reach in to people who are lawfully here and start removing them. They are our neighbours, they're people who work in our economy, they are part of who we are. It will rip this country apart." He emphasised that such a policy would tear the fabric of the UK's beautiful, tolerant, diverse country apart. While calling the policy racist, the Prime Minister did clarify that he does not believe Nigel Farage or his supporters are racist, but rather that they are frustrated with the current situation. But the government didn't just stop at condemning Reform's plans. At the Labour Party conference, Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood announced the government's own significant overhaul of the immigration system. In a move to demonstrate a tougher stance on immigration, she confirmed that the standard qualifying period for indefinite leave to remain will be increased from 5 to 10 years. The Home Secretary declared that settled status must be earned, stating, "Time spent in this country alone is not enough. Just like my parents, you must earn the right to live in this country for good." To this end, she outlined a series of new contribution-based tests that migrants will need to pass to be considered for ILR. These proposed conditions include being in work and making national insurance contribution, not claiming any benefits, learning English to a high standard, having a spotless criminal record, and demonstrating that they have truly given back to their community, for example, through volunteering. The government has indicated that a consultation on these changes will be launched by the end of the year. A key component of the Labour government's proposal is the concept of earned settlement. The Home Secretary explained that while the new default for ILR will be 10 years, some individuals may be able to achieve settlement sooner. This faster route would be available to those who can demonstrate significant contributions to the UK's economy and society. This suggests that skilled workers, for instance, might still be able to get ILR in a shorter time frame, potentially closer to the current 5 years. Conversely, those who are not deemed to be contributing enough could be forced to wait longer than 10 years, and in some cases could be barred from obtaining ILR altogether. The exact details of how these contributions will be measured and how the points-based system for earlier settlement will work have not yet been released. This has, understandably, created a great deal of uncertainty. There are concerns about how giving back to the community will be measured and what a high standard of English will entail. There is also the crucial question of whether these new rules would apply retrospectively to those already in the UK on a path to settlement. While some government sources have suggested the new rules would not apply to those already in the UK, others have indicated that the government is considering ways to prevent recent arrivals from automatically qualifying for ILR under the current 5-year rule. This lack of clarity has caused significant anxiety for many. The proposed extension of the ILR period to 10 years is not an entirely new idea. It was mentioned in an immigration white paper published in May 2025. This earlier proposal prompted 2 significant e-petitions that gained a massive amount of public support. One petition, Keep the 5-year ILR pathway for existing skilled worker visa holders, garnered over 170,000 signatures. Another, focused on keeping the 5-year ILR term for Hong Kong British national overseas visa holders, also surpassed the 100,000 signature threshold for a parliamentary debate. These petitions were debated in Westminster Hall on September the 8th, 2025. During the debate, members of Parliament raised concerns about the fairness of changing the rules for people who came to the UK with a clear expectation of a 5-year path to settlement. While the debate did not result in any immediate policy changes, the government's responding minister confirmed that a consultation would be held to listen to people's views on the matter. However, the government has so far remained firm on its intention to increase the ILR period, leaving the concerns raised in the petitions largely unaddressed for now. So, what does all of this mean for the future of UK immigration? We are currently in a period of significant flux and uncertainty. On one hand, we have the radical proposals from Reform UK to completely dismantle the current system of permanent settlement. On the other, we have the Labour government's plans for a more stringent contribution-based system with a longer standard path to ILR. For now, all of these are proposals and have not yet been enacted into law. The current rules for indefinite leave to remain are still in effect. However, the direction of travel is clear. Both the government and opposition parties are signalling a move towards a more demanding and conditional immigration system. The coming months will be crucial as the government is expected to launch its consultation on the proposed changes. This will be a critical opportunity for individuals, businesses and community groups to have their say on the future of UK immigration. We will be following these developments every step of the way and will bring you the latest updates as they happen. The landscape of UK visas, ILR and immigration is changing, and it's more important than ever to stay informed. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss our upcoming updates. Thank you for watching and have a great day.